Board. Salvete omnes, another episode of Living Latin Live. Here we are, episode 3, Wednesday, June 19th. Juneteenth, if you will, the Juneteenth edition. Well, not really the Juneteenth edition, but we're having an episode on Juneteenth. So let's go ahead and let's first we're gonna kind of do a little bit of review. Let me share my screen first. Let's see, here we are. All right, so we'll kind of go through a little bit of a reading from based on last week's stuff, just to kind of review things, because obviously, usually in the context of a classroom, you have more a regular audience. Your students are with you every day. So, but this is something that you can do, of course, is just have kind of a daily read, kind of start class with that. It's a great way to review what you talked about yesterday, kind of get the juices flowing a little bit, get everything firing up, and then we'll jump into our next slide today. So, omnes
Ita.
est puella est Helena.
Oh.
Bene. So what does est puella mean?
She's a girl?
There's a girl.
There's a girl, and puella est Helena means?
The girl is Helena.
Helena.
Good, the girl is Helena. Helena est in Omaha, Nebraska. And then she says, ego sum Helena, sum puella. What does ego sum Helena mean? What do you think that means?
I am Helena.
Good. Sum puella?
I am a girl.
I am a girl.
I'm a girl. Good. So ego sum ella, sum puella. Sum in Omaha, Nebraska. What does sum in Omaha, Nebraska mean?
I am
in Omaha.
Good. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Next sentence or next paragraph, if you will. Est magister. Magister. Well, est magister.
Oh.
Bit of a longer sentence here. Magister est vir, sed magister non est in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh.
What
So
is
it is but?
Good, optime. And so said,
It's not in your
what I was going to ask is but, right? So magister es vir means what?
Magister is a man.
Man.
Good, he's a man. Said.
Oh, like virile. Okay.
Right, exactly where virile comes from, right? It's the root of that. And werewolf, believe it or not, a little funny etymology about that, but the word werewolf, man wolf, comes from the Latin vir, right? Wolf or lupus in Latin. So that where kind of prefix kind of falls into English from Latin. But anyway, so magister est vir, said magister non est in Omaha, Nebraska. So what is non est in Omaha, Nebraska?
Not
in
Omaha, Nebraska. Good. Magister est in Mykonos, Graecia. So a little more exotic. He's in Mykonos, Greece. And then he says, ego sum magister, sum in Mykonos, Graecia. Now, what does ego sum magister mean?
I am
the teacher.
I'm a teacher. I'm the teacher, right? Latin doesn't use the articles. It's just you can kind of infer through context. So sum in Mykonos, Graecia. Go ahead.
I am in Greece.
Could you make the text a little bigger? I think if you close the side panel, it will be bigger.
Yeah, let me see. Or I can just do this.
Or do that.
Is that better?
Much better. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Good idea. All right. Tu es Helena et tu es in Omaha, Nebraska. So what does tu es Helena mean? What does that mean?
You
are Helen and you are in Omaha.
Bene, good. Tu es Helena et tu es in Omaha, Nebraska. Next sentence here. Est vir. Vir est ita. Vir est Antonius Banderas. Antonius Banderas quoque est Zorro. Antonius Banderas est in Madrid, España. So Antonio Banderas, what is he again? Based on what we read?
He's a
Man.
man
Zorro.
and
A man.
Zorro.
And
Madrid.
he is also
And the man is
Zorro.
Antonius. Zorro.
He's also Zorro.
Zorro.
Also,
That's
Quoque
right.
is also.
Yes. So said is but, quoque is also, right? So there's a couple words there we can kind of sneak in.
Quoque
And in context, you can see helps you kind of look at that. Now, where is Antonio Banderas?
Madrid.
Madrid,
Madrid.
España.
Yes, which is probably where Allison's going to be flying into. No?
Minime,
No?
Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Nice.
Antonio Banderas no está en Madrid. Antonio Banderas está en Málaga.
Malaga.
Sí.
Antonio Banderas, he says, ego sum Antonio Banderas, ego quoque sum Zorro.
Oh.
And because he's talking about himself as two separate people, he says, nos somos in Madrid, España.
Oh.
Now,
We
what is
are
it?
in Madrid.
Bene, yes, nos sumos, as opposed to ego sum, nos sumos. Good. All right. Est wir. Oh, there's a typo there. Let me fix that. Wir est Jimmy Stewart. Oh,
Oh.
Jimmy Stewart est in Palau.
Oh.
And he says, ego sum Jimmy Stewart at sum in Palau. But he's confused. So he says, quis est in Omaha, Nebraska.
Who?
Helena esne in Omaha, Nebraska, on Mykonos, Graecia. So what's Jimmy Stewart asking? Quis est in Omaha, Nebraska? Quis.
Is she in
Who is
Omaha or
in Omaha,
is she
Nebraska?
in Mykonos? Like, who is in Omaha?
Good. Who is in Omaha? And he says, Helena esne in Omaha, Nebraska, on Mykonos.
Is
What's
she
he
in
asking there?
Omaha or Mykonos?
Good, right? So that word on is giving us a choice. All right. So are you in Omaha, on Mykonos? And
So
then Antonius,
Esne questioning?
yes,
Is-
Ne.
yes,
Ne
good,
is the
you guys.
question.
That gratias Tadeo. The ne makes it a question, right? So that kind of makes it binary. So you want to put that ne in the first word in a sentence. So ne, I'm expecting a choice here, yes or no, or maybe, right? In this case, are you in this place or in this place? So it kind of makes it binary, right? It's almost like a question mark, right? When we have a question mark, we know it's a question. And in Latin, because is being spoken, is mostly a spoken language, you hear that ne, and you're expecting a kind of an interrogative there. So Antonio Banderas et Zorro, Jimmy Stewart says, vos estis in Madrid, España? What's he asking there? Vos estis?
Are you
you
guys?
in Madrid?
Are you guys in Madrid?
Optime, yes. Are you all? Are you guys? Are you both? Right? Are you all in Madrid, Spain? Right? So, and Jimmy Stewart turns to Magister et Helena, right? And well, maybe he doesn't turn to them, but he says, Magister et Helena non sunt in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So
okay, so they are not.
They're
good. They are not. Now, how do we know it's they are not? Well, sunt, right?
Well, you said and, so Magister and Helena. Okay.
Right. So the Magister et Helena means we can't use est, but we have to use sunt now, right? To make it plural. So we're kind of working in some plurals here. I probably wouldn't do that in the second class, but because you guys are advanced honors students, we can throw that in a little bit. So last sentence here. Jimmy Stewart est in Mykonos. Jimmy Stewart non est in Madrid. Jimmy Stewart non est in Tuscany. Esne Jimmy Stewart in Albuquerque. What's the Esne Jimmy Stewart in Albuquerque asking?
Is he in?
Is a question.
Jimmy Stewart in.
Right. Notice again the ne, right? So Esne Jimmy Stewart in Albuquerque. Minime.
Oh, so esne was like, Helen, are you in? And then esne is he in? Okay.
Right. Optime. So, minime, Jimmy Stewart, Estin Palau.
Oh.
Jimmy Stewart, known as in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Estin Palau. And did you guys all look up Palau by any chance?
No.
I
Yeah.
thought you guys like immediately go Google searching Palau. All right, I think I got something in the chat. Let's see. Oh, Allison asks, can you make it bigger? Done. Wish granted. All right. So, any questions on the reading? Everything clear there? Now, again, you can always refer to this. I have it set up in the Google Classroom there, so you can click on the daily reading there.
Can you add but and quoque
Let's see,
also?
do I have it? Let me shoot. Do I have it in the last? I have it in the week 1.
Okay.
Quoque, I do not. So let me go ahead and add it in week 2. Why not? I'll just add them both in here. Quoque,
Grazie.
ita, kerte.
And how do we get connected to the Google Classroom?
Oops. You should have got an invite from me, but if not, I would check your spam folder because it probably fell in there. But if not,
Okay.
I'll just send it to you right now just to make it easy. Let's see here. Copy class invite. I'll put it in the chat. So let's see there. So Glory, check that. See if that gets you in. The class code, I'll also put it in there so that way you can do that. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that way you can see everything. Yeah, but in the since I have it up here, in the class there, you're gonna see, well, you won't see all these weeks of stuff because I got all that laid out ahead of schedule, but you'll see all the different weeks we have stuff. So week 0, we've got a syllabus here, some other stuff. Week 1, week 2, week 3, I'll be adding some stuff here so that way you can refer to that. But I'm trying to put some little assignments and things in there just to kind of keep you guys going, so you keep working on stuff. But all right, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and go to our slides here. So again, we're working on these kind of grammatical structures in this 12-week course here. So est hopefully is one you're very comfortable with. That's one we're targeting. Habet, we're going to really be focusing on today. So you're going to be kind of making that connection, how that works.
Did you not pronounce the H?
Like in Spanish, you tend to aspirate, right? So habet, if you say habet, it's okay, but you can probably sense it's very faint. So you don't say ahora, you say ahora, right? And Latin does the same thing. So you kind of have those there to kind of just sort of aspirate it. So habet, wult, the V's are pronounced like W's, but we won't get to that this week because we'll get there though soon. A dot is another one. We're going to be talking about how that structure works. Ad it, we're going to be looking at that soon, as well as a dikit. So again, these are just some of the structures we're working on. And the interrogatives at the top of the screen, the bottom of the screen, we won't be covering all of those, even in the 12-week course, but they're there because I might throw them in there whenever we can, whenever we're feeling comfortable. So let's start. So, omnes.
Ita.
Yeah.
Ótime. Espuela.
Oh.
Puela est Helena.
Oh.
Ita. Puela est Helena. And so let's keep moving because this is kind of a review of last week. Omnes.
Ita.
Puela est in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh.
Omaha, Nebraska. Helena est in Omaha, Nebraska. Et omnes.
Ita.
Oh.
Helena, let me get my little pointer here. Sorry, I want to make this work. Let's see here. This is something good you could do with your students too. You can kind of really point the words out. So, Felem, Habet.
Habet.
Felem, Habet, omnes. Puela, Felem, Habet. Now, what does the word Felem mean? What do you think that means?
Cat.
Meow.
Cat, meow, exactly, cat. So cat, and then what do you think Habet means?
Has.
To
There is.
have.
As.
As
What's a good word we can anchor to that? Habet, what's a word we can kind of anchor to that to help us understand that means has or
Has.
have?
Have it.
it
Yep.
sounds like has.
Right. Sounds like has. So pretty easy to make that leap. What's a gesture we can use for Felem?
Oh,
All right, good. The cat claws.
no,
Or maybe
whiskers.
whiskers.
Okay.
Whiskers, yeah. We could do whiskers, we could do cat. Tadeo, Ita.
You said that Feliz is cat, so are both of them cat, or what's the difference?
Optime. That's a great question. So the word feliz are going to be used when it's the subject of a sentence, and then felem when it's the direct object. All right. So this is where the reps come into play. You'll see that as we do this. But yeah, Latin has different forms of words for different grammatical functions. All right.
So if you
that's
said the cat is in Omaha, you'd say Feliz est in Omaha?
That's why you guys are advanced students. Ita, Feliz in Omaha, Nebraska. Et puella Felem Habet. Yeah,
But
that's the difference.
is the direct object one genitive or is that accusative?
Oh, you want to get grammarese. Yeah, it's accusative. All right.
Accusative.
So,
yeah, I need to
Ita,
know that.
yeah. What I can do is I'll put that in a daily reading. I'll put that in there this week. I'll put some of the grammatical terms for those of you that want them, like what would be called the nominative case, which is the subject, and then the accusative case is a direct object, right? But again, when you're dealing with grammar, you tend to just kind of, at least with this, you just kind of give a quick explanation and then move on because you get the reps in and then it'll kind of make sense to students. Then you can kind of label things. At least that's been my experience with this. All right, so omnes
Ita,
Da.
abetne Helena Felem ita minime.
Ita. Ita.
Ita Helena Felem abet. Omnes
Ita.
Ita,
abetne Helena Felem an canem.
Felem.
Felem.
Felem ita Felem.
Felem
So
habet.
Felem we know is a cat, but let me put canem on there so you can see
Dog.
that. What do you think? Yes, ita canem.
Well, I thought you said canine.
Exactly, that's where canine comes from,
Canem.
right?
Okay.
Canis, canem, ita.
No.
So is
Omnes,
Ita.
canem cano in its normal form?
canis would be its normal form.
Canis.
Canis, yeah. Canis. Canem would be its accusative direct object form. Omnes,
Ita,
Da.
abetne Helena verum,
Minime.
minime.
minime. Helena non abet puerum. Helena non habet minime, non habet canem. Helena habet felem. Now notice puerum has changed its spelling also, right? It was puer, right? Esne, Jimmy Stewart puer minime. Jimmy Stewart known as puer.
Est weird.
Es wir, bene. And
Yeah.
notice it becomes puerum when we're talking about habet, right? And not
Mhm.
canis, but canem when we say habet, or felem instead of felis when we say habet, right?
And
But
virum
again,
habet?
optime, virum, optime. Helena, virum non habet,
No.
felem habet. Bene,
Felem habet.
ita.
Helena non amat virum. Helena amat felem.
Optime, felicitates. Ita, do you guys know what she said? Amat?
Amat.
Helena
Who,
non
love?
amat bene, Ita. Helena non amat virum amat felem. Meow.
Doesn't love boys, she loves cats.
Ita, she doesn't love a man, right? Virum, she
Oh.
loves her meow cat. Optime, Allison. Very good. Omnes,
Ita,
Da.
quis felem habet? Quis felem habet?
Helena felem habet.
Ita, notice I asked quis, so again, that's up here. So quis Felem Habet. That's the gesture to help you remember quis. And the answer was Helena Felem Habet. Omnes
Ita.
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 quid Helena Habet.
Felem.
Quid Helena.
Felem.
Felem.
Ita.
Felem.
Optime. Helena Felem
Habet
Habet.
no canem.
Ita quid Habetne. Habetne
Habet
Helena.
ne.
Habetne Helena Canem.
Can
Minime.
inime
Minime.
Helena
Ah.
canem non habet.
Ita. Habetne Helena puerum.
Minime.
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 Minime. Amatne Helena virum.
Minime.
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 Felem amat. Et felem abet.
Felem.
Bene, look, we
Felem
just threw a new
amat.
word in there.
Felem abet.
Ita, so I'll throw that word in there. So
Helena non amat virum Helena puerum non habet.
Woof.
Ita.
Could you
Optime.
say Felis Habet Helena, or would it be Helenum?
Oh,
That's a good
Felis.
question.
Felis Helenam Habet. Ita.
Helenam. Okay.
Ita. Yeah, you guys are asking good questions. So Helenam would be that accusative form, right? That direct object form. Notice her name changes from Helena, right? When she's the subject to Helenam when she's the direct object. So great question. Yeah.
Is there a
guys getting it.
macron on Helenum somewhere?
Not on that form, not on the, I mean, I usually focus on the endings. I should probably take that E, that macron up that Felem, because those macrons, they tend to create a little bit of panic on things, which I don't think are needed. There is those, what those represent are just emphasis, right? Like I like to tell my students, I don't want to put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, right? So those macrons are emphasis marks for Latin. So for
So
example,
it's like the Spanish stress marks. They're not really accents in
Yeah,
Spanish. Like in
yeah.
French, we have accents, but in Spanish, they're just stresses.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. That's how it works. There's some debate about this a little bit, and I think some of that comes from people confusing the concept of long and short, vowel sounds. But I like to just reduce all that and take the macrons out to get the students to just really pronounce the language, and we can tweak pronunciation. They're going to imitate, what the teacher says anyway. So, but yeah, don't worry so much about macrons. Like you see them all over the question words, like cuando, for example, cur, right? Qualis, right? Instead of it's not qua, it's qualis, not qualis, right? So, anywho, I probably should take those off. That's a good point.
So
No, don't take them off.
It's nice to know where the stress is.
Yeah.
So when something becomes a direct object, is it just like adding an M to it? Like, is that sort of what, like it'll have an M somehow?
For the most part, yes. Like that's an easy way to kind of develop the ear for it. Like when we have plurals, for example, it'll change. But for now, yeah, if you're hearing an M in the word in the noun form, yeah, you're dealing with a direct object. Yep. Yep. In fact, one of the things I like to remind students is that like English still has some of that. Like who versus whom, right? Like when to use who, when to use whom. Kids tend to mess that up a little bit, and it's no fault of their own. But if you know that one's a direct object, whom, and one's the subject, who, that kind of helps you understand what those differences are. So even English still has some of that inflection in there, but okay, omnes.
Cool.
Ita.
Ita.
Yeah.
Habetne Helena Felem.
Ita.
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 Optime. Habetne Helena puerum.
Minime.
Minime.
Habetne Helena Felem ancanem.
Felem.
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 Optime. Helena non habet canem, et non habet puerum, et non habet virum,
Virum.
habet felem. Allison, tu es Helena.
Ita.
Quid tu habes? Quid tu habes?
I couldn't hear the question.
Ita quid tu habes?
Um, ego habet felem.
Ita, and I should probably put those up there so you can see it because not everybody.
Hadeo.
Ita,
Habeo.
tu abes felem. Omnes,
Ita.
Ita.
Helena Allison habet felem.
Oh.
Ita. And tu es Helena.
Ita.
Quid tu abes? Quid tu abes?
Felem habeo.
Optime, recte. Tu abes felem, ita. Omnes,
Ita.
Ita.
Helena and habet felem.
Oh.
Glory.
Ita,
Tu es Helena. Quid tu abes? Quid tu abes?
ego habeo felem.
Recte. Tu abes felem. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Glory, Helena, habet felem.
Oh.
Ita habet. Tadeo,
Ita.
tu es feliz. Tu es feliz. Quid tu habes feliz?
Habeo Helenam.
Oh, recte. Tu habes Helenam. Omnes,
Ita.
Ita,
felis Tadeo habet Helenam.
Oh.
Omnes,
Ita.
quis est Helena? Quis est Helena?
Helena est Puela.
Puela.
Optime. Puela. Puelam. Ita?
Ita.
Bene. Omnes,
Ita.
Ita.
habet ne felis puelam?
Ita.
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 Girl.
What
No.
am I asking?
Felix.
Does
Habet
she
ne,
have
a
a
girl?
cat?
habet ne felis puelam. What am I asking?
Does the cat have a girl?
Ita. Bene, right? So good. Now you guys are kind of getting not only the use of the verbs from those different perspectives, but you're also seeing the nominative and the accusative forms, right? Which is really good. All right. Ultime. Let's see here. Omnes.
Ita.
Ego sum magister. Quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo? What do I have? Give me some suggestions.
Cup.
Hmm?
A cup or a
Canem.
can. You were
Canem.
drinking out of a can earlier.
Canem.
True. That's a can. Canem. Minime,
Habes.
non.
Habes canem. Or canem
Ita.
habes.
Optime. Non habeo canem. Non
Habes-
habeo
habes-
Celsius.
Malum.
Malum. You guys know what a malum is?
No.
Bad.
Minime.
Good. Malum just means apple. But it does sound like bad too, because a malus, mala, malum is the adjective for bad, and a malum is a bad thing, whereas a malum is an apple.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
the-
where bad apples came from. Misunderstanding Latin.
It makes you wonder what the apple of the tree of knowledge is, right? But that's not. It doesn't use the word Latin. It doesn't use the Latin word for apple in the Bible though. So omnes, I got it.
Ita.
I have a secret. I have a secret.
Oh.
Ego habeo delphinum.
A dolphin?
Oh.
Ita.
Oh.
Ita.
Oh.
Delphinum. I'll put both forms there so that way you can kind of see them together. Should probably figure out a better way to display the stuff, but omnes
Ita.
Ita.
ego habeo delphinum.
Oh.
Omnes
Ita.
Ita.
habeo ne delphinum, albeo ne delphinum.
Ita.
Ita,
Tu
Ita.
habes delfinum.
Optime. Ego habeo delfinum. Ita. Optime, Alison. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Habeone delfinum an piscem. Delfinum an
Delfinum.
piscem.
ha,
Del-
delfinum habes.
Ita. Non habeo piscem.
Non habes piscum, fish.
Piscis, piscem, fish. All right. Habeo delfinum. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita,
Ah,
Habeone squalum.
Minime.
squalum. Mm.
qualis?
Habeone squalum.
Quid est squalum? Squalus?
Squalus. Squalum. Shark.
Oh,
Ita.
minime.
Minime. Non habeo squalum. Habeo
Delfinum
ita.
habes.
Ita. Ego habeo optime. Ego habeo delfinum. Tadeo, tu es Helena.
Ita.
Quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo?
Ego habeo. Felem. Felem.
Ita
Ego
tu
habeo
habes.
felem.
Ita tu habes Felem, sed quid ego, magister, quid ego habeo?
Tu habes delfinus. Delfinum.
Ita optime, ego habeo delfinum, non habeo Felem. Felicitates, plaudite, optime. Bene. See, you corrected yourself. I asked you and you just corrected. That was awesome. Optime. And tu es Helena.
Ita?
Quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo?
Habeo, felem. Felem habeo.
Ita tu habes Felem, sed quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo?
Ego habeo. Felem.
Minime, ego sum magister, tu es Helena.
It's who's on first.
Ita, tu habes Felem, sed quid ego habeo? Ego sum magister, quid ego habeo?
Oh, okay. Tu habes delfinum.
Optime, plaudite, optime, felicitates. Ita, tu es Helena, et tu habes Felem, sed ego sum magister, et ego habeo delfinum. Optime, bene, bene, ita. Glory, tu es
Ita.
Helena, tu es Helena. Quid tu habes, Helena?
Ego habeo Felem.
Optime, tu habes Felem, et quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo?
Tu habes dolphin. Hold on. Delfinus.
Ita. Optime delfinum ego habeo. Optime tu es Helena, tu habes Felem, sed ego sum magister et ego habeo delfinum. Optime. Optime, plaudite. Alison,
Ita.
tu es feliz, meow, tu es feliz, et
Meow.
quid tu habes feliz?
Ego habeo huelam.
Optime, felicitates, optime. Tu es feliz et tu habes puellam, sed, quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo?
Tu habes piscem.
Oh, habes et pis.
Ego volt piscem.
Tu vis piscem,
Ita.
sed ego sum magister. Tu es feliz, et tu vis piscem optime, sed ego sum magister. Quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo?
Tu habes delfinum.
Optime, ego habeo delfinum, tu es feliz.
Magna
Tu-
piscis.
Ita es magnum piscem optime.
Magnum piscis.
Bene. Ita, plaudite, omnes plaudite. Let's see.
Gratias.
Ita, that was good because you worked in the fact that you were a cat and you want to fish.
Yeah.
Ultimate. Let's see, where are we at so far? A 5, we understand, no problem. 4, we got it, but we had to kind of look at the screen. A 3, we're still kind of, right? Okay, good. So it looks like everybody's 4 or 5, which is good. So I want to check that because I want to make sure you can do the next thing, which is where we kind of describe everything. Well, we're now moving. You might have noticed so far in these 3 weeks, we go from kind of one-word responses to then kind of, doing a little bit of dialogue where we're kind of formulating a sentence. Now you're going to kind of move into describing it using kind of a paragraph, right? Which is where we're getting all these reps in with the language. So again, I'll model everything and then I'll let you guys kind of practice and then we'll do it again. So ego sum Helena, sum in Omaha, Nebraska, et habeo Felem. Est magister, because I'm just going to play the role as if I'm Helena. Est magister, magister est in Mykonos, Graecia, et magister habet Delphinum. Bene?
Bene.
So
Then
just kind of establishing those facts. And of course, you can always say, something, you can do the negatives, etc. Like, Helena est, ego sum Helena, non sum en Mykonos Graecia, non habeo Delphinum, habeo Felem, right? If you can kind of just keep doing that, that's going to get you a lot of understanding with the language a little bit. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to just practice. So mute yourselves and give you 1 minute. You ready? All right, go. 1 minute. Practice. All right, salvete. All right, let's go ahead and bring yourselves back in here. So we'll do now. Where are we at in terms of understanding and feeling confident? A 5, you understand it pretty well. 4, you probably look at the screen a little bit to kind of pick out words, vocabulary. 3, you still need a little. You got it for the most part. 2, I think everybody's 5s and 4s. All right. So let's do this. Describe the situation for me. Allison, you are Elena, describe the situation. Oh, you're muted. Sorry, let me get my thing here.
Ego sum Helena. Ego sum Helena. Ego Felem habeo. Ego non habeo canem. Non habeo piscem. Ego sum in Omaha, Nebraska. Magister est in Mykonos, Graecia. Magister habet Delphinum. Felem iratus. Felem non habet piscem. Felem non habet Delphinus.
Optime,
Delphinum.
plaudite.
Delphinum.
Optime, felicitates, optime. Tu es Elena, tu habes Felem, tu es in Omaha, Nebraska, tu non habes piscem, tu non habes Delphinum, sed ego sum magister, ego sum in Mykonos Graecia, Delphinum habeo, sed felis tuus est iratus, quia felis tuus non habet piscem. Bene? Did I miss anything?
No.
Optime. Optime. I like how you ad-libbed. You added more in there. Optime. Good. All right. Let's see. Glory. Tu es Helena. Go ahead and describe the situation. Give as much as you can.
Okay. Ego sum Helena. Ego sum puella. Ego habeo felem. Ego no habeo delfinum. Magister habes delfinum. That's it.
Optime, planete, bene. Optime. Tu es Helena, tu habes felem, tu non habes delfinum, sed ego sum magister, ego habeo delfinum. Bene? Optime, optime, Pucloric. Very good. Optime. Good. Let's see. And tu es magister. Go ahead and describe the situation as if you were magister.
Ego sum Mykonos Graecia. Ego no habet canem, no habet piscem, habeo delphinum. Ego sum vir. Ego no sum puella y no sum puer.
Optime. Felicitates. Bene. Optime. Tu es magister. Tu non es puella. Tu non es feliz. Tu es magister. Tu es vir. Et tu es in Mykonos Graecia. Et tu habes delfinum. Tu non habes felem. I think that's pretty much everything you covered, unless I'm missing something. Did I miss anything?
I said ego habeo delphinum.
Ita, tu habes delphinum, ego magister, ego sum magister, ego habeo delphinum. Optime, bene. Taddeo,
Ita.
tu es feliz. Let's make it really hard for you. Tu es feliz. Describe the situation.
Ego sum felis. Ego habeo Helenam. Ego non habeo perum quoque canem quoque delphinum. Ego amat piscem. Ego non amat squalum. Tu es magister. Tu amat malum. Tu non est puerum. Tu est vir.
Optime. Well done. Optime, Taddeo. Tu es feliz. Tu piscem amas. Optime, tu piscem amas. Tu non habes piscem. Tu amas puellam. Tu amas Helenam. Ego sum magister. Ego amo malum. That's what you said, so I'm going to go with it. Ego habeo delphinum. And there was something else you mentioned, but I can't remember. Did I miss anything?
Ego non habeo puerum canem delphinum.
Ita, tu es feliz, tu non habes puerum canem et squalum. Et tu non amas squalum. Tu amas piscem. Bene, optime. Very good, right? So that was excellent. You guys can now, obviously, you can start mixing things up a little, which is really cool, which is really exciting for me. All right. So, omnes,
Ita.
quid habet Jimmy Stewart? Quid habet Jimmy Stewart? Give me some
Palau.
suggestions. He est in Palau, ita.
Canem.
Quid canem? Okay. Canem. Fortasse. Do you remember what fortasse
Piscem.
means? Piscem.
Strong? No.
Fortasse means maybe or
Oh, no.
perhaps, whichever you prefer. Fortasse canem habet. What else? I heard squalum.
How do you say monkey?
Simiam.
Simiam.
Ah.
Simia.
Habet
Simiam.
simium?
Jimmy Stewart habet simiam.
I like simium. Let me move that so you can see it better. Try to put it somewhere. I'll put it here. That's probably good.
That was good.
Minime. Ego
Me.
intellego. I have a secret.
Mm.
Jimmy Stewart, I bet. Asinum.
A
Asinum.
donkey.
Asino.
Oh.
Oh.
Ita. Asinus. Asinum. Donkey. Ita. I figured it'd just be funny to use the word ass, in its proper animal sense. Jimmy
Mhm.
Stewart has an ass, an asinum. That's where it comes from. Asinum. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart, asinum, I bet.
Oh.
Ita. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Abene Jimmy Stewart, asinum and delphinum.
Asinum.
Asinum ita certe recte, asinum abet, non delphinum. Abene Jimmy Stewart, felem.
Minime.
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 Asino.
Habet.
Asinum ita.
Asinum.
Abene Jimmy Stewart, minime, canem.
Minime.
Minime.
Asinum habet.
Ita asinum abet. Abene Jimmy Stewart, squalum.
Minime.
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 Minime, non
Asinum
abet
habet.
squalum. Asinum abet. Ita. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Quis habet asinum? Quis habet asinum?
Jimmy
Stewart.
Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart habet asinum.
Optime. Jimmy Stewart
Asinum.
habet asinum. Quis habet felem? Quis habet felem?
Helena.
Helena
It-
habet felem.
Ita. Helena habet felem. Ita optime. Quis habet delphinum? Quis habet delphinum?
Tu habes.
Tu
Mami.
habes delphinum.
Optime. Ego habeo delphinum. Bene. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Quid habet Jimmy Stewart? Quid habet Jimmy Stewart?
Asinum.
Asinum.
Asinum habet.
Optime Jimmy Stewart asinum habet. Et quid habet Helena? Quid habet Helena?
Felem habet.
Felem habet.
Ita felem habet ita. Omnes.
Ita.
Ita.
Quid habet minime. Quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo?
Tu habes delphinum.
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 Ita ego habeo delphinum. Optime. Tadeo, tu es Jimmy Stewart. Quid tu habes? Quid tu habes?
Habeo asinum.
Ita recte. Tu habes asinum. Non tu es asinum. Asinus. Tu habes asinum. No, you didn't get it wrong. I was just making a
Gracias,
joke. I was just
Oh,
making a
okay.
joke. Ita. Glory.
Ita.
Tu es Jimmy Stewart. Quid tu habes? Quid tu habes?
Ego habeo asinum.
Oh, recte, tu habes asinum. Et quid ego habeo? Quid ego habeo?
Delphinum.
Yeah, tu habes
Glory.
delfinum.
Oh, sorry.
Optime,
Tu-
bene. Ego habeo delphinum et tu Jimmy Stewart glory, Jimmy Stewart glory. Tu habes asinum. Optime. Allison.
Ita.
Tu es Helena.
Ita.
Quid habet Jimmy Stewart?
Jimmy Stewart. Asinum habet.
Ita. E quid tu habes?
Habeo. Felem habeo.
Ita, tu habes felem. Jimmy Stewart habet asinum. Et
Asinum.
quid ego habeo?
Tu habes delphinum.
Bene. Ego habeo delphinum. Tu habes felem. Et Jimmy Stewart habet asinum. Optime. And tu
Ita.
es Helena. Quid habet Jimmy Stewart?
Jimmy Stewart habet asinum.
Esne Jimmy Stewart asinum? and Helena. Esne Jimmy Stewart asinum.
No. Minime. Sì.
Bene.
Jimmy Stewart habet asinum.
Ita Jimmy Stewart habet asinum, non est asinos. Bene, ita. E quid tu habes, Anne Elena?
An habeo canem, an Helena Felem habeo.
Ita Anne Elena, tu es Elena, habet Felem, sed Anne, tu habes canem, et quid habet Jimmy Stewart?
Asinum.
Ita, optime, plaudite, optime. Good. Yeah, now we're making a distinction between having something and being something, right?
So I wanted to
What,
ask,
Alison?
you said Jimmy Stewart habet asinum non est asinus. So you go back to nominative,
Ita.
even though it's
Ita.
not the subject?
Well, it is because
It's a subject.
it's a linking verb, right? You're linking the subject. Let's say in this case, Jimmy Stewart is, right, an asinus, even though he's not, but right, you're linking those two things because the est is just working like it's a linking verb, right? State of being. So, yep. But that's a good distinction to make. You want to say somebody has an asinum, but isn't an asinus, right? We don't want to insult somebody, right, Tadeo?
Right.
I made
right.
that joke with Tadeo earlier, and he caught on real quick. He actually said, "Did I say that?" And I, no, you're fine. I'm just making a joke.
I was like, I didn't know
So-
if I thought too fast and I accidentally said the wrong one. And I was like,
Nah,
oh.
you did it right. You're good. I was just messing with you. All
But it
right.
helps to relate to our students because I found myself looking for the screen to see sum est es, and like, why is he doing that? That's not here. And it's exactly what our students would be doing.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, that's just a way, you know, again, it depends. I can always go back a slide, right? I can always go back and say, if I was noticing you guys weren't getting that, I can always just kind of go back. I mean, it's like that. I can go back and pull that up and say, all right, and just kind of remind you, but you guys are picking it up. So it was good.
Mhm.
So we're there. All right. All right. So where's everybody with that? Just show of hands of 5. You got it. 4. You pretty much got, you might have to look at the screen a little bit. 3, almost there. All right. Looks like everybody I know, Profe Shihai. Oh, he's a 4, even though he just jumped in. This guy's an all-star. All right. So I'll go ahead and describe the situation. I'll kind of give you a breakdown of everything. So ego sum magister. Ego delphinum habeo, et ego sum in Mykonos Graecia. Est puella est Helena, Helena est in Omaha, Nebraska, et Helena Felem habet. Et est wir est Jimmy Stewart est in Palau, et Jimmy Stewart asinum habet, right? So that's just kind of establishing the facts, but you can play around with that as you want. Take on a different role, whatever. So what we'll do is I'll give you a minute to kind of practice that a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead and mute yourselves. 1 minute, off you go. Yeah, take on the role of Helena, for example. Describe situation. All right. Salute. All right, let's come back in here. Let's kind of go through this and let's see if we got this down. So you described, let me see, I got a little something in the chat here to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Okay, it looks like we're good. All right. All right. Let's see here. Tadeo,
Ita.
Tu es Helena. Describe the situation as much as you can.
Ego sum Helena, ego non sum Felis, ego sum puella. Ego habeo Felem, ego non habeo delphinum, quoque canem, quoque puerum. Ego amat Felem. Jimmy Stewart est vir, Jimmy Stewart habet asinum, Jimmy Stewart non habet squalum, magister habet delphinum, magister non habet piscem.
Plaudite, felicitates, optime. Optime today. That's a lot. So see if I can remember it all. Let's see. Tu es Helena. Tu habes Felem. Tu non habes squalum. Tu non habes delphinum. Et tu es Puella. Tu es in Omaha, Nebraska. Ego sum magister. Ego habeo delphinum. Non habeo Felem. Et es Jimmy Stewart es weird, Jimmy Stewart asinum habet, Jimmy Stewart non habet Felem. Did I get everything? Is there anything
Yeah,
I missed?
I think that's pretty much everything.
Gratias, ottime. Bene, Tadeo, very good. You did everything and you added a lot. I heard the quote in there as well. Optime. Let's see.
So is quoque okay for the negative? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I did.
No, that's
mean
cool.
to
That's fine.
interrupt.
Quoque is just like and also. But yeah, if you said if you non habet Felem, quoque, delphinum. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, technically you could say neck, which is neither, right?
Oh,
Neck,
okay.
neck, neck. But I think we introduced that a week or so ago, so don't worry about that too much. Just go with what you know. All right. So Anne, speaking of
Ita?
two S Jimmy Stewart, describe the situation.
Doing that again? Salve. Habeo. No habeo canem. Habeo simiam et asinum. Ego sum palau. Cuando no sum Hollywood. Ego no habeo nec piscem, nec squalum, nec delphinum. Magister habet. Delphinum. Et
Bene, optime, plaudite. Because you worked in some things that you like the neck, you just worked that in. So 2S Jimmy Stewart, 2S in Palau, 2 non abes squalum felem minime, 2 non abes squalum minime, 2 non abes nec squalum nec felem. That was what you're saying. Said 2 abes asinum. Ego sum magister, ego non habeo felem, habeo delphinum, et Jimmy Stewart, tu es Jimmy Stewart, tu quoque habes simiam, bene. Tu es in Palau, sed non es in Hollywood. Did I miss anything else? Any details?
no?
All right, optime. Optime, gratias. Let's see, Glory. 2S Magister, you or me. Describe the situation as much as you can.
Okay. Ego son magister. Magister habeo. Ego habeo dolphinum. Ego no habeo canem. Ego amat malum.
Optime. 2S Magister. tu habes delphinum non habet squalum et tu amas malum. Bene? Did I get it all?
Bene.
Plaudite, optime, because you also brought in that verb amo mare, tu amas, ego amo, optime. Very good. Bene. Ita tedeo.
So if someone's speaking about themselves, can they speak about themselves in the third person to make a more dramatic point? Like if I'm magister, instead of saying ego sum, if I say magister, would that make it more dramatic or would it not have an influence?
No, it definitely would. It's kind of like if you talked about yourself in the third person, you're like Tadeo is hungry. Tadeo wants an apple, right? People are like, what's wrong with this guy? You know? But yeah, you could definitely do that. Yeah. Ego sum magister. Magister vult malum. Oh, you know, magister non habet squalum, habet delphinum. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It's like, why is this guy talking about himself in the third person? But yeah, you could do that. Sure.
Yeah. I was not
Why not?
trying to make it more emphasis. That's just the way it came out.
No,
No,
actually, that wasn't.
you made me think of like when you said it, I was like, wait, could this work? Like, would this work?
Yeah. No, that was good. That was good. Yeah, I didn't think you were trying to be dramatic, Lori. That's awesome. All right, proficiency. You're not warmed up. Let's see let's throw you into the fire here. Tu es Helena. Describe the situation as much as you can.
Ego sum Helena, ego sum puella, ego non sum puer, ego Felem habeo, tu es magister, tu es vir, tu es in Mykonos, Grecia, tu delphinum habes. Jimmy Stewart est vir, Jimmy Stewart est in Palau. Jimmy Stewart asinum habet. Jimmy Stewart non habet squalum.
Optime, plaudite. Optime. Tu es Helena, tu es Puella, tu es in Omaha, Nebraska, tu habes Felem, ego sum magister, ego habeo delphinum, ego in Mykonos, Grecia, sum, est vir, est Jimmy Stewart est in Palau, Jimmy Stewart asinum habet, Jimmy Stewart Felem non habet, I think is what you said.
Squalum.
Squalum, bene, squalum non habet. Optime. Jimmy Stewart habet asinum non est asinus. Bene. Optime.
Bene.
Optime. Plaudite omnes, plaudite. Felicitates, bene. Very good job. So now I think you got some pretty strong foundations with Latin as a language. Pretty cool. Let's see, somebody pop something up in the chat and make sure I got it. Okay, something's weird there. All right. Any questions before I stop things and let you guys go? All right. Optime, gratias.
Fantasticum.
Fantastic. So let me stop sharing my screen. I'll let you guys go. So gratias, Wobbies. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good week. I'll put some things up in Google Classroom so that way you can kind of practice. I think maybe I'll experiment with you guys.